Hello, this is Yogeshwar 7000 again, and I'm back on my series for Jupiter transit in 2016. And today we'll be discussing about how Jupiter transit, which is happening on August the 11th, 2016, for approximately 13 months, is going to impact people whose moon sign is Virgo. Now, when I say moon sign, all you have to do is look at your birth chart, your natal birth chart, and in case the moon is placed in the zodiac sign of Virgo, then your moon sign is Virgo. So how is Jupiter going to impact people's whose moon sign is Virgo is today's topic. And also, according to modern astrologers, you should also look at transits from the ascendant as well. So in case your ascendant is Virgo, or your lagna is Virgo, as some people may call it, then also this video is for you. Have a look at this video. But more importantly, for people with the moon sign of Virgo, because the Shastras or the ancient scriptures say that transits should only be considered through the moon sign. So when Jupiter moves from where it is currently placed in the zodiac sign of Leo into Virgo, it'll actually be coming to the first house for Virgo moon house people, because it's going to be sitting on top of the Virgo moon sign. So the Shastras, the ancient scriptures, say that whenever Jupiter transits in the first house from the moon, then it is not a great period. So it's not very good news. Now, having said that, the good news still is that right now Jupiter and Rahu are conjunct in the zodiac sign of Leo. So the positive thing in this transit is that Jupiter and Rahu are going to get separated, because when they were together, or when they are together right now as they are in the zodiac sign of Leo, it is creating a very, very malefic yoga called the Guru Chandala Yoga. And Guru Chandala Yoga is formed for Virgo moon sign people in the zodiac sign of Leo, which happens to be their 12th house. So it would have given them extreme troubles, especially for the last few months, since Rahu and Jupiter have been together in the zodiac sign of Leo. So the good news here is that Rahu is going to be separating from Jupiter, because Jupiter will be moving into Virgo. So that is going to give a lot of relief to Virgo moon sign people. But of course, like I said, that the ancient scriptures say that Jupiter transit into the first house from the moon sign is not a good transit. So watch out for these next 13 months. It may be troublesome in pretty much all matters for which Jupiter signifies. Jupiter signifies wealth, Jupiter signifies gurus, Jupiter signifies family, Jupiter signifies children, so on and so forth. So these matters are going to be very, very challenging for people whose moon sign is Virgo. Now, one has to be very, very careful in terms of their career, because there may be situations where you may get into a confrontation with your bosses. That is extremely important area where you should take extreme precautions. In your relationship with your colleagues may suffer as well. Your relationship with your spouse or your spouse health may suffer during this 13 months period as well. So these are the challenges which you will be facing in the next 13 months. Love marriage, well, again, because the fifth house is a significator of love affairs and pleasures, that also can be impacted in a very negative fashion. So people who are starting a new love affair, or it's happening in their lives, may not get too far, because they may run into some kind of a problem there. So be extremely careful in getting into any kind of relationships. Marriages, try to avoid marriages during this 13 months period, in case you're not married, and put it off, especially for Virgo moon sign people whom we are discussing about today. So just put it off, put the marriage plans off for the next 13 months. Yes, I mentioned that modern astrologers consider the Lagna also for transits, but more importantly for Virgo moon sign people. Health may also give you some kind of a trouble in this 13 months period starting from August the 11th, so be very careful. And I already mentioned that journeys should be avoided at all costs, long journeys especially, because they will not give you the desired results, what you've been looking for. It is not a great time for any kind of a religious activity as well. So try to avoid, if you're planning a ceremony which you had been planning, try to avoid that as well. Now, having said that, the negative part I'll mention here, that you should also look at your dashas. Now, in case the dashas, the running dashas of other planets are favorable for you, many of these negative things which I just mentioned in this transit for the next 13 months may get cancelled to a great extent. So do not be overly worried about this negative transit in your life. Also, Jupiter is not a major malefic like a Mars or a Rahu or a Ketu or a Saturn. So no matter how bad Jupiter is in terms of its transit, it still is not going to give you as malefic effects as another major natural malefic planet can give you. So that's another relief here for you. And also look at other transits which are happening related to your birth chart. And if those transits are favorable to you, many of this negative transit many of the results of this negative Jupiter transit for Virgo moon sign people can be cancelled or nullified. So I've given you a mixed picture here. As far as the good news is that Rahu is separating from Jupiter, and Jupiter is moving away from Leo, so that is going to give people whose moon sign is Virgo some kind of a relief. Of course, this transit per se for Virgo moon sign people for the next 13 months is not completely positive. Well, it's actually negative. I should be very frank and open about it. But at the same time, the good news is that look at other planets which are transiting, and in case those transits are positive for you, many of the results of this negative Jupiter transit will be nullified. And also if the dashas are favorable for you, then many of the negative results can be nullified to a great extent. But for people whose dashas are negative as well, other planets who are transiting are negative as well, and along with this negative transit of Jupiter for Virgo moon sign people, if all of these three come together, then of course there is trouble. I would say that, but that rarely happens. Sometimes the transits are good and the dashas are bad, and sometimes the transits are bad and the dashas may be good. So God has found a way to kind of balance your problems. He is not going to give you problems. So do not be overly worried, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. In the meanwhile, I will recommend subscribe to my channel and check out my website. There is a link below, and I will see you with the continuation of my series on Jupiter transits 2016 very soon. Goodbye.